Hey folks, welcome back to Shout Esports. I'm your host, Jess Brohard, and in this episode, we're diving into hosting and casting. And remember, if you want to catch up on previous episodes where we cover setting up a streaming environment, content creation, and more, you can find those over at GameInformer.com or on the Game Informer YouTube channel. The first thing I'll say about hosting and casting is, like anything, it takes practice. And I found that the best way to get that practice when you're first starting off is do it yourself. If you're a caster, pull up a VOD from any tournament, mute the audio so you don't hear the actual casters for that game, and practice commentating. Or get some friends together in a private lobby, jump into spectator mode, and cast your friend's match. Now ideally, you can even get a friend to hop in Discord with you as your co-caster, and you can learn together. For hosts, it's a pretty similar process, except that you'll also need to come up with some kind of content to host, and there are a lot of different approaches you can take. Maybe you could host a simple news-style segment where you give updates and analysis on an esports scene. Or you could present game reviews, in-depth opinions on current controversies, or even an interview-style talk show. Or all of the above. The more well-rounded of a host you are, the more types of hosting jobs you'll be able to do. It's probably easiest to start off by recording all of this content that you're hosting or casting, but when you feel comfortable with it, you should try streaming live instead. After all, for casters, you're always going to be working on a live broadcast, but fellow hosts out there, you'll likely end up doing a mixture of live and pre-recorded content like I do. But be sure not to post or stream any content that you do not own. That is, if you're commentating over VODs from a tournament, only record it for the purposes of reviewing your own performance. Once you've hosted or casted several shows, start seeking feedback. Share the videos around to your friends and family and on social media. Or better yet, hire a talent coach. A talent coach can review your footage with you and offer critiques of your casting and hosting, and suggestions on how to improve. Everything from your manner of presentation, the words you choose, or the questions you ask in an interview. The other thing you can do to improve is watch what your favorite hosts and casters do and take cues from them. Be aware of things like the way they hand off to a co-caster or throw to a break. You'll notice the subtle fluidity in the way good talent interacts with each other. It's almost like a performance in many ways, sort of borrowing the yes and concept from improv. For instance, a caster might set up a conversation about a certain player's map awareness, and their co-caster might pick up the cue by saying something else about that player's map awareness before moving on to making the actual point they wanted to make. A good caster will listen and respond to their partner's prompts rather than just talking about what they want to talk about. Everyone will develop their own style, but overall, it's a good idea to be charismatic, confident, and well-spoken. And these are things you can definitely learn if you feel like you don't already possess these qualities. You'll also find that a good host or caster is good at filling time. Every event I've ever worked has encountered delays, whether it's game server issues, players going AFK, or a number of other reasons. And it falls to the talent on a broadcast to fill these gaps. Have you ever watched an esports event where the casters seem to just go on and it takes forever to actually get into spectating the game? Or gotten frustrated by all the commercial breaks? This isn't because the casters just love talking. They do, but it's also to provide a seamless viewing experience. In other words, get good at holding a conversation. And if you've been watching our previous episodes, hopefully you've been practicing that on your stream. While you're doing all this, post your work on social media to start networking and building a following there. We'll have a couple episodes of Shout Esports later on that will go into more detail about both of these topics, but for now, keep in mind that the idea is just to get your content in front of as many eyes as possible, because you never know who will come across your videos and want to hire you. It might take a little while, so be patient. As an example, I produced and hosted videos 3 days a week for more than a year before I landed a full-time hosting gig at Curse. They say that luck is when opportunity meets preparation. I got lucky when I landed my job hosting videos at Curse, but when that opportunity came along, I was prepared for it based on all the videos I'd hosted for my own channel. My goal for you is to get as prepared as possible. Every video you host or cast and every bit of feedback that you solicit and listen to is a chance to improve at what you do, even if no one's watching the videos you post. You can't always predict when opportunities like hosting and casting jobs will come along, but there are some things you can do to create your own opportunities. Next month, in the first Shout Esports segment in March, we'll go over how to take all this footage you filmed and cut it into a reel, how to find and submit yourself to an agency, and other ways to find gigs. And if you want to catch up on previous episodes, head over to GameInformer.com or check out the Game Informer YouTube channel. And as always, you can hit me up on Twitter at Jess Brohard or hop into my stream chat at twitch.tv/Jess if you want to ask me any questions about all this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in a couple weeks for some esports news.